We are going to show you how to replace the automatic cam motor in the Hillman 4000 key machine. We are displaying the key machine with the large gray cover removed. And always remember, before doing any repairs, always unplug the key machine from the electrical outlet. The next thing you want to do is take your Phillips screwdriver. There's a Phillips head screw on the black cover in the left-hand corner. Remove screw completely. Next, on the right-hand side of the base, there's a thumb screw that holds the black cam motor cover. You want to take that out completely. The next step is to remove the black cover. Place carefully. The next step is to get it out of your way is to remove the deburring brush, which will make the removal a little bit easier for you. So that is done by locking down your 1/2-inch wrench on the two flat spots between the tracking pulley and the deburring brush itself. Hold down securely, place a 3/4-inch wrench on your brush nut and pull down. Loosen nut, put nut aside and brush for later. The next step is to take your 9/16 opening or box wrench, or if you don't have that, a pair of needle nose pliers or slip joint pliers would work to remove the hex nut on the toggle switch and the cam motor push button switch. So when you do that, you remove the hex nuts carefully on the toggle switch, and then you want to loosen up the hex nut on the push button switch and carefully just push through the back of the machine, through the mounting holes, the two switches. Next step, with the flat blade screwdriver, you want to remove the 4 panhead screws that hold the base of the cam motor. Now you will notice there are 4 slotted screws on top of the cam motor bracket. You do not remove those. You want to remove the ones that are drilled and tapped into the actual silver base. Now this screw in the corner on the left-hand side rear has a washer. Now you want to make sure that you place this screw back in that same hole with the washer. It's very important on the assembly of this cam motor, so you might want to put it where you remember where it's going to go. Very important. You will be able to lift up your cam motor assembly out of the base of the machine. Now you want to kind of tilt it on its side just like this, and you have a connection here with 3 white wires and 1 orange wire nut. Remove the wire nut from the 3 white wires, and the next connection is the large yellow wire nut with electrical tape. You always want to remember you will have 4 black wires that you will end up with, so remember to keep those in position and remove the wire from the push button switch. The new cam motor assembly comes pre-assembled with a new push button switch to make it easy for you in your installation. So remove the old electrical tape, discard, remove large yellow wire nut, put aside, remove connection of the 1 black wire from the push button switch, and disconnect your 3 white wires. One of them goes to the cam motor, but you want them all 3 disconnected. Then what you do is you just remove the old cam motor and discard. You will be able to save the micro switch if there's nothing wrong with it, and the push button switch, but basically put aside, and I will show you how to install the new cam motor. The thing is to make sure there's no chips build up underneath. Take your chip or cleaning brush and clean. Now when you get ready to install, you want to be very careful of a wire here that goes underneath. Some models it goes into here, underneath, tucked in there, but you want to make sure that the wire is either taped up or tucked in there, because when you put it on, you don't want to pinch the wire. Place the cam motor down firmly on the base to line up the 4 holes. You take your 4 screws, your 2 screws in front, finger tight, one and second one in the front, and then the one on the rear right. And remember, the last and final one with the thick washer goes on the left rear side. The next step is to take your new push button switch, it's already connected to the cam motor assembly, slip it into the hole on the right, place your lock washer and your hex nut, finger tight, followed by your toggle switch assembly. Flip it through the back side, place your thin washer with your hex nut. Just a thing of caution, you want to tighten down securely, but you don't want to over tighten, so just snug it down tight enough where the switches will not rotate or move. The next step is to connect your 3 white wires by twisting together your ends, and if needed, if you need more wire exposed, you need to strip the ends to make them about that long. You take your orange wire nut and you slip it on and tighten securely, holding the 3 white wires with your left hand. Make sure it's nice and snug and tight. Then you have 4 remaining black wires. Take in your large wire nut, assemble, twist the wires together, hold the 4 wires with your left hand, twist on the large yellow wire nut firmly. You definitely don't want the wires loose. You want a good solid connection, and you want those wire nuts nice and tight. Now the next step you would want to do is get a piece of electrical tape, a good quality electrical tape that is rated for electrical repairs. Place underneath the wires in a tucked under fashion and twist around the wire nut a couple of turns. You want to make it very secure. You want to cover, maybe more than half to 3/4 of the wire nut and squeeze it in position and make it nice and tight to keep out the chips and the dirt and dust. Also, do the other connection in under the wire fashion, and then simply twist around the wire nut firmly. The next step is to retuck your connections down. When it turns, you don't want these wires sticking above the surface of the cam motor itself. The next thing you want to do is put your deburring brush back on. The next step would be to replace the automatic cam motor cover. You're completed on that, and you are done assembling your cam motor.